Have you heard people on the media articles or whatever it is says that millennials love gray? I think that's false. I think that is such a false statement because millennials grew up with color everywhere, every single place. McDonald's had color. All the restaurants had, all the fast food restaurants had color, like multiple colors. Walmart has color. Every place in the 90s and early 2000s had colors everywhere. Everywhere. It was, cars have colors. A lot of people had different colors of cars. But then, this is the trick that they do. You know how they gaslight millennials, gaslight people to thinking that millennials like gray? That's false. And I'll tell you why it's false. They changed it. They changed everything to gray. And yes, it's still color there. Yes, everything is, you could paint your house green if you want. That's so true. But look what they do. Look what they do. I'm going to tell you right now. What they do is they change everything to gray. Now you go to McDonald's and what you see, a gray house, a gray building. It's not color no more. It's not colorful green colors anymore. You go to any fast food restaurant, it's not colorful anymore. It's all gray. Another thing, when you go to decorate your house, all you see is gray because they made it to be gray, right? Like they made it for you to think that you like gray. It's for you to buy gray stuff and then make an article about you saying that you like gray, right? See how manipulated the corporations are? The media, the articles, they're all manipulated, they're all gaslighting you, saying that you like gray houses. No, they made it like that. They literally made everything the way that they did. You don't know what you like because they manipulate what you like every single time. So in the 90s and early 2000s, everything was great. I mean, everything is colorful. 90s and early 2000s, everything, everywhere you go, you see colorful everywhere. The schools, the streets, the restaurants, even TV. TV shows were colorful, everything, right? Houses were colorful, everything, right? Then, I don't know what year that it started to change, but once millennial was old enough, maybe late 20s, old enough to start buying houses, that's when they switched everything. That's when they started switching everything to gray. Everything to gray. They started switching everything to gray. And then they started making articles. Oh, millennials like gray. Millennials like gray. The mainstream media talked about, see, millennials like gray because it's too much colors out there, so they couldn't choose, and they had to choose gray because it's like the only thing they could choose. That's a lie. They manipulated you. They gaslight you to think that you wanted gray houses, to think that you want everything gray, and then you actually fall for it. You actually bought things of gray. You actually pay your house to be gray. You actually decorate your house gray because they manipulated you. You don't know you actually like because they manipulated you every single time. Every 10 to 15 years, they find a new way to tick you and change you, and that's what it is. They make the trends, you fall for it, then they hit. Then, once you fall for it, then they make an articles about you. The thing that they manipulate you, gaslight you to think that you like it. No, but guess what? It's a bunch of people are always talking about, oh my God, we miss all the colors. We miss when we miss 90s. We miss, a lot of millennials say this all the damn time. We miss the 90s. We miss the early 2000s because everything was so colorful. Everything was like, we miss McDonald's. McDonald's back then was colorful. Now it's all gray and this and that. And you really think we like gray? That's false. You know why the switch happened? The switch happens because they realized that color, or maybe they already knew, so they made the switch. They didn't want millennials to be more intuitive, I guess. They realized colors are very joyful, right? Joyful, fun, excitement, happy, all that stuff, all the good emotions, right? So they didn't want a whole generations who were already progressive. They already knew millennials was going to be the most progressive generation, the most smartest generation ever. So what they did, they switched the colors, all the colors, to gray to make you more depressed, because single colors are very depressing, right? This is what when we're sad, we wear black clothes. When we go to a funeral, we wear black clothes. When we try to look fit, we wear black clothes, because it's just like an illusion, right? I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this is all my thoughts. This is all my process. So then they did all this stuff, right? Because they didn't want millennials, the most progressive, the most smartest generation, to be joyful, to be excitement, to have a love life. So they switched the colors to colorful, to all gray, and now you see everything gray. And then they just blame millennials because everything's millennials' fault, right? Everything's millennials' fault. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I don't know if you like my thoughts. I don't know, like my process thoughts. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But that's the way I see things. I like to question things. If you don't notice this, I like to observe, So that's what I did. But I did realize that we don't like gray. We got manipulated to think that we want gray. And a lot of people still think that they want gray houses, because that's what we got brainwashed to think. Come on, man. I'm not a shopper. I buy things, but I'm not a consumer. So it doesn't really affect me. I'm not gonna say I'm not a shopper, because I do buy stuff, okay? Alright, I don't live away, I'm still human. I still buy stuff once in a while. But I'm not a shopper, I'm not a consumerism, so it doesn't really affect me much, because I'm not gonna buy whatever they say. I buy whatever I want at the moment in time. And I don't like shopping anyway. I dislike shopping. But anyway, all I wanted to talk about is colors. How they manipulate you thinking that you want a gray house. And even though we do have even though we have the option to color our house green, they make it so hard for you not to buy green stuff. Because let's be honest, a lot of females, I don't like decorating. I'm not that kind of female who like decorating. I don't like it. But most females love to decorate. And who decides to decorate? Females, not men. Men doesn't decorate. Females do, right? So what they do, they make everything gray, decoration gray, right? Because if you don't find a green stuff to decorate your green kitchen or green living room, right? I'm just using the green, right? What will you buy? Why will you color the house green if it's nothing decorative off? So what they did is make sure that all the decorative stuff, all that stuff that you put in the walls, I don't know any of that stuff, because I'm not a shopper and I don't like decorating. Anyway, once the females start buying stuff to decorate around the house, and if they cannot find other colors other than gray, you really think that females want to color the house other colors other than gray? It's all manipulated. It's all connected. Everything is connected in this world. And if you stop to think for at least 5 minutes and start asking questions, everything is connected. You just have to put the pieces together, the puzzles together. All you have to do, this planet, this country, everything that we go through is all a puzzle. If we all put this together, everything is connected somehow. You just had to figure out how it's connected to another. All you have to do is figure out how it's connected to another topic, because everything is connected. You just don't know it, because they make everything seem like it's so separate. They want to act like all the topics is so separate and not connected, but no. Every topic, every issue is all connected. Everything's connected. It's like a puzzle. And you have to find the puzzles where it fit and why it is. And once you do that, you start seeing so much of the world. You start understanding more and how they manipulate people, how this country, how the media, how the articles, how the government, politicians all gaslight and manipulate people to think a certain way. And if you realize that everything, if you haven't realized that everything's if you haven't realized that nothing, what I'm trying to say, okay, hold up. If you haven't realized that everything's connecting, then I think you should start opening your eyes and realize that everything is connected. You know, just this world lives in a puzzle. Everything's connected, and I'm gonna try my best. Every time I think about a topic that is connected to something, I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to speak about it, and maybe whoever sees this video in the future understands what I'm trying to say. I know I'm rambling, but sometimes rambling is amazing, you know? I have so much thoughts in my head, a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of theories I have. I have so much theories in my head that I want to share them. Maybe somebody agrees with me. Maybe nobody agrees with me, you know? And that's okay. I just want to share my thoughts and my theories. That's it. So anyway, have a good day. Have a nice day, everybody.